Hello.
And welcome to
Let the Girls Play. I'm Kelsey Bailey.
I'm Amelia Bain.
And we're here to talk about the WNBA Finals Game 1 and 2. We said we can't wait until after potentially a Game 5 to get on here and cut it the fuck up.
So much has happened in just 2 games. Imagine trying to cover 3, 4, potentially 5 games in one episode. It just wasn't going to happen. We've been on a real emotional journey from Game 1 to Game 2. We're about to head to Minnesota, and we simply had to pod now.
Amelia had to give her on-the-ground reporting because she was at Game 1 and Game 2 in the stands, feeling all the energy.
Good and bad. The energy good and the energy bad. And I did have to get on this podcast today in my Rutgers women's basketball hat. Shout out Benai Laney in my Benai Laney shirt. Shout out again, Benai Laney. This is once again, I mean, it's always been, but it is once again more blatantly a Benai Laney Hamilton fan podcast.
Absolutely. We always try to say that we will stay as unbiased as possible, but everybody knows, if you're new here, you don't know, but we are Liberty proud season ticket holders, proud fans. So if we skew a little bit towards sharing our heartbreak over a Liberty loss, don't worry. It won't last for long, because how could you be mad at the Lynx with the level of play that they are able to do?
How can you root against Courtney Williams?
I mean,
the most entertaining player in this series.
Dogs
we'll get
are
to
out.
It, but the dogs are out. And I want to say, before we get started, Kelsey did think that I was wearing a Make America Great Again hat. It is a red Rutgers women's basketball hat. Kelsey's known me for 11 years and thought that I was wearing that hat.
Hey, you never know. In these times, people pop up as secret Trumper Republicans. And for that split second, I thought, whoa, what is that hat that Amelia has on? Even though I was literally there when she bought the hat.
You saw me buy this hat.
I was like, Amelia, you should get that hat. They're doing a discount on the merch during this game. This ad brought to you by Kamala Harris. She's brat.
She's brat.
You know who else is brat? The Minnesota Lynx in Game 1.
Oh, let's talk about it. Game 1.
What a game.
The Liberty came out. They popped off. I think they scored 32 points in the first quarter. I turned to my wife and I said, I've seen enough. Liberty in 3. And she said, shut up.
It's good you stayed humbled.
I stayed humbled.
You were feeling delusional. You were lost in the sauce.
I was. When Leo was hitting those threes, when Sabrina's hitting those threes, I was delusional. I was humbled. Mere moments later, I was humbled.
And that's the thing you need to remember with being someone who follows the New York Liberty is there's nothing they love more than giving up a 10-plus point run. They were up by what, like 13, 18 points or something crazy like that?
Yeah. And they said, watch this.
They said, watch this. Time to gunk it up. Uptown gunk, gonna give it to you.
Uptown gunk, gonna give it to you. Yes, they really, nobody does it like them. Nobody does it like the Liberty. For better, for worse. Nobody comes out and hits those threes and scores 32 points in a first quarter, and then nobody forgets how to score in the fourth quarter quite like the Liberty.
I mean, here is the theory that I had cooking via text message with Amelia while I was watching the game in California, screaming in Silver Lake. I think that when Big Ellie did custom content with Justin Timberlake, it put a curse on the New York Liberty. We have been cursed by what did he say? Oh, faux shiz, Justin Timberlake. Fishes, Justin Timberlake put a curse on us.
I know. I believe it. And there was a moment where during a break for a timeout during Game 2, they started playing that just dance, can't stop the feeling. And I was like, turn it off. We can't do this again. We can't have this again.
He's our evil Grimace. Whatever Grimace is doing for the Mets, well, not yesterday, but whatever he's doing for the Mets, Justin Timberlake is doing the exact opposite for the New York Liberty. And I think that
maybe his DUI didn't ruin his world tour, but his presence ruined game one, and we
Of the
stand on
finals.
that.
Mm-hmm.
You
Where's
know
the
who
meme?
else kind of ruined game one for the New York Liberty?
Spike?
Oh, no, I was going to say a little guard called Courtney Williams.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need to get off of Celebrity Row. Before we do that, we do need to spotlight some of the other celebrities that were there. Not on Celebrity Row, but sitting right behind me, Ma.
I could turn and just look over my shoulder, and Carolyn Peck and the Big Three were sitting there on their raised platform broadcasting for ESPN. And when they weren't broadcasting, they were having the time of their dang lives. They were loving it. I mean, it was a very exciting game. They were like screaming and grabbing each other. They were swag surfing. I love them.
What we all have in common with all of these people is that we were all watching the most insane game unfurl in the last 2 minutes going into overtime. It was chaos.
It was chaos. It was especially the end of regular time. The refs were like, we're going to call everything. This is my mom's watching. 1.1 million people are watching. I got to show off my little whistle and let everybody know that I know the rules of basketball. And the refs got involved. And I'm not blaming the loss on the refs because the Liberty lost that game, but just the way that the last minutes of play unfolded were bizarre for both teams.
I'm blaming the loss on two things. One, Sabrina Ionescu fouling Courtney Williams at her 3-point attempt.
4-point play. Yeah.
It was a 4-point play. The dumbest foul to ever foul. Like, why did you do that?
I understand why you would want to guard Courtney Williams as closely as possible because she was absolutely going off in that game and in every game, it seems. But you can't foul on a 3-pointer at the end of the game.
No, there was like 10 seconds left in the game. It would have tied it up and then you would have gotten possession.
But really, Kelsey, if they had just scored any points,
yes,
we wouldn't have been there.
Yes. And then I was going to say the second thing was Stewie missing that free throw.
Right. But I would argue we shouldn't have even gotten to the point that Stewie needed to make that free throw. I think they should have just kept scoring. Just score it all. You have some of the greatest offensive weapons in the league, and you couldn't score at all in the last few minutes of the game.
Yeah, it was really crazy. I also think that Sandy went to her bench a little too early. She got a little too cocky. We had KB, KT, everybody was out there, and I was just like, what?
Well, she changed her strategy in game two.
Absolutely. KB saw no minutes. I'm so sorry, KB. And not to blame KB, but it was just like, I think the people who started the second quarter were just all bench players, which is so great. And yes, absolutely show love to the bench, but also don't, you got cocky for a second there being well, I can give my players a rest. We're up 18 points.
I'm not going to be comfortable up on the Lynx until we're up 50
40
points. Yeah, I really feel like
until we're up 40 points. Nafisa Collier has fouled out. Courtney Williams has fouled out. And
Cheryl Reeve has quit.
Yeah, and everybody else is elected to wear blindfolds from the Lynx.
And then I'm like, we got this in the bag. And I bet the Liberty would still find a way
to
blow that lead.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love a conspiracy theory on this podcast. I think when the Liberty put rally towels out, when they put out towels that say something about New York, they always blow it. And we'd like to point to two examples. When we played the Aces in Game 4, must-win game in the finals that we famously lost, the Liberty put out rally towels on all of the chairs that said, "This one's for you, New York." And we lost that game. Kelsey, there's a great picture, I'll throw it in here, of Kelsey holding the towel looking deranged.
Screaming, "This is for us! This is for us!
This is for us!" Yeah. And then we walk in for game one and the towels say, "New York's not for everybody." It's a curse.
I knew we were going to lose game one when everybody on WNBA Countdown said that the Liberty were going to win game one, except for Elle Duncan. She was like, historically, the Liberty have never won a game one, one of the finals. It's a crazy stat, but it's true, and it remained to be true. In all of this heartbreak and all of this frustration and all of these conspiracy theories swirling together in one perfect curse that gave the Liberty the fucking bitch slap of the century. the Lynx did fucking show that they can play some good basketball. Courtney Williams is that dog. Her dad was going crazy in the stands. They kept cutting to him on the broadcast. Ellie got in a fight with him during game 2. I don't know if you saw that clip, but she got like pretended to get like in a fight with him during game 2 yesterday.
Nafisa Collier went absolutely off, especially that really clutch bucket at the end of the game. But through the whole game, there's just like certain shots that when Fee takes them, there's nothing you can do to stop her.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it's been 2 great games because it's 2 great basketball teams. And I mean, if it was a blowout for game 1, that would have been boring on either side. You know, we got to keep it exciting. This is the finals, baby.
This is the finals. And I just keep thinking after game 2, like, oh, this is going to be a good series. And we're going 5 games.
I think we're going 5 games.
We're going all the way 5 games.
I don't remember what my prediction was. I know we recorded it literally like 2 days ago. I already don't remember. I think I said Lynx in 5.
That is over now. That's gone. Everything we've said in the past is over.
We have no idea.
And my prediction is pretty boring, which I really think like either team could win. That's how I feel.
I'm going to say something crazy and say either team can win. Sure, she had that moment where she said Liberty in 3.
That was me excited in the crowd in the moment. Yeah, I've said some crazy things.
We said Niara Sabali was going to be like most improved player, 6th player of the year. We have been drunk on the sauce many a time.
Listen, Niara Sabali had a really good game 2 on the board. She had, I think, like 3 offensive rebounds in 9 minutes, which is really good.
Pop off. Yeah. I'm just saying she's been injured every other game. So that's why it was funny that we were like, she's getting this. She can't stop that girl from falling.
The vibes at the end of game 1 were so dark. I really think it was more depressing in Barclays than it was when we lost in the finals to the Aces after game 1. Like, it was just so sad. Everyone was just so sad and in shock. But I got to give the New York fans credit. Everybody in the arena for game 2 was like, that's over now. We are cheering for this team. And I really think I didn't really expect the Liberty to win both of these games. We're coming out of the first 2 games 1-1. It's a really ugly and bad way that it happened, but that's kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get to game 5 without losing some games. So let's hope that if it could be fun for each team to win one while they're in Minnesota and then they come back to New York for game 5. And like we said, it could be anybody's game.
It could be anybody's game, but I really hope it's the Liberty because I will be podcasting live from the Mall of America if the Lynx win the championship. And
baby, I will look up tickets.
I don't know anybody in Minneapolis.
It's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold, but I'm going to do it.
For the pod.
I'm a woman of
we
my
do
word.
it for the pod.
We do it for the pod.
We do it for the pod. I want to go on the roller coaster at Mall of America.
And once again, if the Liberty win, I'm going to disappear for 48 hours and be on Instagram Live.
Yes.
These are my promises.
Yep.
Yes.
We talked about the spirits being low, but then for game 2, 18,000 people came out, the most in Liberty Barclays history coming out for game 2. And this was the team that I've been waiting to see play in these finals. Mima, you were on the ground. Tell us what you saw happening.
Well, I mean, it felt a lot like the start of game 1. They came out, I think they ended up scoring 30 or 31 points in the first quarter. And they were playing like aggressive, smooth. Sabrina was hitting her threes. But the real difference maker, I think, throughout the whole game, but especially like right at the beginning of the game, was Banijah Hamilton, who had knee surgery, like 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago? And has been on limited minutes. I think it's still on limited minutes, but really came back as the player that we've known her to be for years at this point. And it felt like Sabrina was hitting threes, but Banijah was popping off. It felt like 2021 or 2022 Liberty basketball, like this team that was, they were the heart of that team. They were the leaders of that team. And,
Truly.
And they still are, but it just felt like a real throwback to these 2 players, like just playing hard.
Playing in front of her college coach, C. Vivian Stringer, getting buckets. It was so nice to see her just like get back to being Queen Bee. Because I would say, I mean, obviously playing with limited minutes. I think also just like having to feel so like maybe scared to move her body in the way that she normally would for a game. Just to see her like full out, like hitting threes, like driving, being like the amazing defensive player that she is. It was so nice. She got emotional when she was talking to Holly Rowe at the end of the game. Like, shout out B. Queen B is back. All hail
She's
the queen.
back.
B is
She's
Benijah's
all
bucket.
hail the queen. She is, I mean, she's no stranger to having to battle back from injury. Like, that's just like something she's done before. And I love her so much. This is not useful for pod. Like, listen, I'm just like,
It's just praise, yeah.
it's just praise. I love her. But yeah, she was her.
Everybody stepped up in a huge way. Benijah did. I mean, a huge like moment of the game, like absolutely like dagger, clinched it. Leo only had 3 points in the game, but boy oh boy was the 3 that she had huge.
Yeah. She like got a ball on a turnover, was standing there holding it on the 3-point line. You saw her think about it for a second, and then she's like,
fuck it.
I'm going to shoot this 3. Fuck it. Shot it, drained it. It was such a momentum shift. There was that 3 and then 1 3 that Benijah had late in the game that everybody
no
was
pass
just
from
like,
Sabrina, absolutely.
everybody lost their minds. It was, I don't know that it's ever been that loud at Barclays. And it's been loud at Barclays.
18,000 people are going to make some noise. And like, I just keep watching the clip of Leo doing that. The steal, like coming off of the loose ball that like hit off of Courtney Williams' foot to the 3, and just like the reaction, it like, woo, gives you little goosebumps. I love it. Turn the fuck up, Barclays. It's beautiful to see like people stepping up for different games. Like, you know, like every game, it's like a different player is just shining and helping us get this W. And by us, I mean the New York Liberty.
Yeah. We're so sorry to Lynx fans. I do love, like, I gotta say, like, the people at Barclays boo the Lynx starting lineup at the beginning of the game. I don't boo. Because I like the Lynx, especially my crush, Nafisa Collier. Can't boo her.
Playing out her damn mind. You can't boo a dog like Courtney Williams.
No.
Where would they be without Courtney Williams or Nafisa Collier?
We had a listener comment in our last video when we were talking about players that thrive on being booed or thrive when they're being booed. Courtney Williams is one of those players, and we learned the hard way in game 1.
Absolutely. She's a Kelsey Plum where she's going to smile when you're booing her. She's going to love
loves it. And so is
you
her
know
dad.
Who is probably giving her some shit on the sidelines? Scrappy Doo Mabry sitting courtside.
You know, Scrappy Doo, I clocked her immediately. I saw that bun. And
yeah, I was going to say, what was
it.
the hair like? Was it messy bun?
But then
okay.
After the game, she had it down, which I've never seen.
Okay, for photos.
But yeah, for game, it was, she's locked in as a fan. Messy bun. I kind of kept looking over to see who she was cheering for. And she wasn't really cheering for anyone.
She cheers for herself.
She was giving nothing. She's giving nothing. And maybe
Go
it's
girl,
like,
give us nothing.
Go girl, give us nothing. But I do really, seeing her in person, I was a little bit starstruck.
I mean.
And scared.
Yeah. Seeing her like amongst Gen Pop, like just in game 1, who was sitting with Courtney Williams' dad cheering for the Lynx, Washington Mystic Shakira Austin.
That's fun.
That's very fun, but interesting to see where these loyalties lie.
I know. And that's the thing is a lot of these players have played together at different points. Or I was thinking like, okay, maybe Kayla McBride played at Notre Dame. So maybe Marina Mabry has some loyalty to her. Like I was just trying to put it together.
I think she probably has loyalty for Courtney Williams and Alana Smith. They played on Chicago together last year.
Yeah.
So I would imagine it's probably that. But also, she's also an East Coast girly, so maybe she's cheering for New York, New York.
You really never know. And maybe she's cheering for no one because she
cheers for herself.
We got to talk about somebody named Brianna Stewart, who set a record for steals in a finals game. 7 steals.
Lost her damn mind. My favorite moment of the game, obviously I loved every steal, but it was when she was like telling the refs to tee up Nafisa Collier for throwing the ball at the ref.
Yeah.
Love it.
I was very surprised they didn't tee her up for that.
They were like, she was just giving the ball to him, but I do think she gave it to him like
she
aggressively. She didn't
was mad.
throw it to hit him, but she threw it in a way of frustration where I'm like, I could see it if they were going to call it a tee. Like, yes, there was like some, anger behind it, but it wasn't like her like chucking it at him like dodgeball style.
But there's no standard for what makes a technical, I feel like, because like Tiffany Hayes in the last series just celebrated making a shot and got a technical.
It's whatever way the wind, whatever side
And
of
then
the bed
Feet chucked a
the refs are
basketball at a
getting
ref,
up.
and they were like, "Thanks, girl."
They're like, "Love you, babe. Go Huskies." But someone did say on Twitter, like they compared the photo of Stewie like pointing to the 2-point line when Gabby Williams-Foot was over the line for the Olympics, and then comparing it to her like telling the refs to give a T. They're like, wow, Brianna Stewart doesn't care if you were a fellow Husky with her. She will absolutely like
She'll throw you
cause
right
drama
under the
and
bus.
like, yeah, she'll throw you under the bus. She doesn't care. So it was really, she's that one.
Can I talk about somebody that was sitting on Celebrity Row?
Absolutely. I always text Mima and I'm like, who's there? Tell me.
We've had some good ones, but I gotta say, Jennifer Hudson got almost as loud of applause as Whoopi Goldberg did a few weeks ago, which makes me think like only EGOTs on Celebrity Row from now on.
We respect the work.
EGOTs only. Yeah.
EGOTs only, baby. Call me when Rita Moreno is there. We got to get an EGOT for every game. Maybe that's the secret. An EGOT
that
for
is
every
our
game.
secret sauce, is an EGOT winner.
We could get John Legend as an EGOT winner.
I could see him there.
There's one other note here that Coach Amelia has that I would love to hear your thoughts on.
I just, especially in this game, but she's been doing it a lot lately. Jonquel Jones, who I love, who is so important to us.
Don't worry, everybody knows that we are Liberty fans.
I know.
We don't hate a single Liberty player.
Jonquel Jones is 6'6", and yet when she catches a ball, her immediate thing she does is like bring it down to her waist or even dribble
like she's a guard. Yeah.
And then somebody grabs the ball. And I'm just like, you're 6'6", just hold it up here.
Mm-hmm. Let him jump for it.
Yeah.
Like a dog for a bone.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I don't know if that's something she always does or if it's just something she's doing lately, but
sometimes JJ thinks she's a guard, and that's cute.
I know. When she got that steal at the end of the game and was dribbling on the fast break, it was really crazy looking. She was like,
that's like
I know.
It's like me trying to do anything athletic.
I think she does want to be a guard because sometimes she's like doing a little behind the back pass, doing something a little bit flashy.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, JJ, every guard in the WNBA wishes they were you. They wish they were 6'6". So, like, just be yourself.
We appreciate you. I think she sees Stewie who can like handle sort of like playing the guard role. And she's like, well, I can do that too.
But that's Stewie.
Yeah.
You're JJ.
She's kangarooing down the court. Yeah.
So I think game 3, game 4, game 5, JJ.
Hold it high,
if JJ shows up as we know her, we're going to win these games.
She's got a circle of life, that ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring it up.
Bring it up, babe.
HOTTOGO.
Uh-huh. But don't do the TT or the... Yeah, just keep it up there. Yep.
Yeah. Just keep it in the H.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you're going through TSA.
Well, speaking of coaches, should we move on and talk a little bit about non-finals WNBA news?
Yes, because there was some news that came out. It's very exciting. The Golden State Valkyries have hired their head coach, the first head coach of the Golden State Valkyries, Natalie Nakase. Most of you will know her as the hoodie blazer wearing assistant coach from the Las Vegas Aces. Very interested to see if that style travels with her to Golden State, or if it leaves, then we officially know that Becky requires everybody to wear a hoodie and a blazer.
Yeah. If you're right, if she takes it to Golden State, we know she liked
it's her style. Mm-hmm.
If she doesn't, we know that it is a cult happening in Vegas.
It's a requirement by Becky Hammond that everybody wear the fuggliest blazer they could find. Damn, I miss those blazers. It's only been like 5 days, but I already miss the jump scare surprise of whatever's bedazzled on the back of Becky Hammond.
I miss her.
Her skull and crossbones or whatever freaky ass shit she has. Whatever freaky ass shit she's into.
I'm interested to like see what parts of Becky and that mentorship follow her to Golden State.
Yes.
And who she is just on her own as a coach.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be great. I'm so excited. I mean, the more and more things that come out about the Valkyries, I'm just like, damn, cannot wait.
They're doing it right.
What this roster is going to be. They're officially getting the number 5 pick in the WNBA 2025 draft, which is very exciting. Can't wait to see. Really can't wait to see. Very exciting to have that extra extra team in the league.
One more bit of news. We had
very important news from this
very
week.
important news for a certain demographic of people, the lesbians, and bisexuals and allies. Kalani has a favorite WNBA player, Arike Gumbawale. Good choice. Good choice. Confirmed that she is an Arike girlie. And then Arike went to her show.
That's fun.
That's fun. So we from now on will be calling Kalani Kalane because she is an Arike girlie.
Absolutely.
Just like us.
Welcome to the club. And if you're an Arike girlie, let us know. Welcome to the club. We just want to welcome you.
Yeah, and I do want to say some happy news. Coach Trammell's been catching some fish.
Absolutely.
She's been
It's
fishing. It's trout time.
I know a trout hates to see her coming. They're checking their watch. They know it's Trammell time. Big fish she's catching.
Big fish, yeah. So I'm excited for Coach Trammell to like relax, do the things that she loves to do, and then come back next season ready to go.
I mean, another piece of news coming out of the Dallas Wings, Maddie Siegrist got engaged. Congrats, Maddie.
Good for her. Congrats.
Well, this is like our Dallas Wings check-in.
Yeah. Are they
We're checking in on the Wings. Yeah, are they okay? How y'all doing? So shout out Maddie Siegrist getting engaged to her boyfriend, joining Cameron Brink as another newly engaged WNBA player.
Mm-hmm.
The straights are straighting all over the
and
offseason.
Arike is also engaged. So
yes, that happened
the
a while
gays are
ago.
also gaying. Yeah.
The gays are also gaying. So we got some WNBA weddings coming up, everybody.
I love it.
Who will be at the weddings?
I love to see who from the other teams gets invited.
Yeah.
That's fun. Well, Kels, we're off to Minnesota. We are not, but like
mentally.
The games are. Mentally we are.
Mentally I'm already there. Mentally I'm walking around the Mall of America with an Annie Ann's and a Build-A-Bear bag.
Can I tell you something? The woman that invented Build-A-Bear is from Missouri, and she is like a big Wash U women's basketball fan, which is where my wife played basketball. And so every season at their end of season banquet, they would get a Build-A-Bear with their jersey.
Does she still have them?
So Sarah has like 4 Build-A-Bears of herself at her parents' house. Shout out Build-A-Bear. Shout out the Mall of America. We'll be there. Not really, but
shout out capitalism.
I might be there podcasting if the links get it done.
Minneapolis, we may be coming for you. And honestly, I've been there once before. A beautiful city.
Never been. Can't wait to go.
Gorgeous. I was there for one day, and it was beautiful. I can't believe there's only 3 games left.
I can't either.
Whoever wins this deserves it. And with that, I will be okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I just had to say that.
No, I think I'll be okay too, because it's like, I love these Lynx players, and I don't think a lot of them have won a championship. So it's going to be great either way. And we get to go right into Unrivaled.
Baby, we get to go right into Unrivaled, where these players all get to face off against each other and play with each other, play with new people. I watched the Team USA versus France game the other day because I was like, I want to go back to a time when the girlies were all getting along.
When they were all friends.
I was longing for those days. I miss Cock Hopper.
Oh, every day. Shout out Rutgers women's basketball.
Shout out. As we have said, and as we just displayed, we love everybody that plays for the WNBA. We love every player. We love when you're being a dog. We love when you're making a stupid foul at someone taking a 3-point shot. And we'll love you even when you make your little mistakes.
Absolutely.
We love the coaches. Can't wait to see the graphic tees that Zazzle Queen Cheryl Reeve will be wearing in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and whatever the fuck kind of outfit they get Sandy to wear. Her fucking zoot suit from game 1 was insane.
Cargo pant zoot suit from the Aces series was my favorite. And we played great. When she wears a big pant, we play well.
We love everyone except for the people who are coming up with these New York themed towels that curse us.
You gotta
Justin
stop.
Timberlake who curses us. And of course, the refs.
The refs. Bye.
Bye.